I would like to talk about doing things and the idea that we have to always be chasing some sort of activity or accomplishments, and question that fundamentally. We can start talking about why we do it, which is individual for everybody, and usually is because we need to get something out of life. The reason why we do anything is because we're seeking something, whether that be food in the kitchen, a degree in college, a person for companionship, friends. And while all of those activities seem like they have a purpose, the trick there is the value that we attribute to those things because we feel that we don't have them. And the feeling of not having something is what drives our motivations and our desires and everything else that powers our need to seek that. In reality, we don't need to do anything. There is no reason whatsoever to do absolutely nothing. Meditation is a way of wasting time. And first of all, there is no way to waste time, because time is forever now. There is no time. There is the conception of past and future. But the past never happened, and the future never arrives. It's always now. So, if we can analyze meditation as sort of the way of being, the way of knowing that we don't have to do anything. And the reason why we say it's a waste of time is because we already have ideas of what we should be doing to accomplish something. And so sitting quietly without even thinking, which is the purpose of meditation, having no thoughts, no mind, it's ludicrous to us because it's a waste of time. But if we can clear that out and realize that the purpose of meditation is to have no thoughts whatsoever, to have no purpose either, you're not seeking anything, you don't need anything out of meditation, you don't look for something in meditation, you know that that is a state of being, and you can actually live for a couple of minutes or even an hour, perhaps even more than an hour, in meditation, and nothing else would happen that you didn't intend to. Taking that, you can see that everything else around you keeps going. And around you, I don't mean around you physically, but inside you too. Everything else keeps going. And there is no purpose for that. There is no reason. Only to realize that that is our actual state of being, because everything else becomes then a conception of what you're looking for. And it becomes a sort of universe that exists outside of you, that is revolving around you. And then you are only perceiving and judging. You're thinking if it's bright or dark, if it's up or down, higher, lower, good or bad. And that's how we perceive the world. Now, this whole thing is not to say that we shouldn't do anything. Because the question is then, why am I doing this? Well, the quick answer is that I enjoy doing it. And I have a natural drive to do it. And that's where I want to bring this message, is to realize that there are things that you do naturally, that you don't intend to do. They're just there. They're spontaneous. And our ability, if any other ability that we have, is only to perceive and judge those actions that we take, what we do, and what happens around us. So we are like a troubleshooting mechanism in the human body. That's all we are, at least in the perceivable sense. Everything else is just flowing, spontaneous, just like the grass grows in spring and the rain falls whenever there is enough saturation in the clouds, and it just happens. So the rest of you is just happening, and only you, the perceivable part of you, the perception, the senses in you, are judging what's happening. And we have a chronic orientation to judge everything that is happening, even our own actions that are spontaneous. We judge them as if they are good or bad, if they were positive or negative, if they were useful or not useful. And that's where I want to bring the conversation to, that there is no need to judge ourselves. There's no need to feel that we have to take action because we are limited, and that is only pursuing something that will never arrive, because the future is never here. It's only the present. And that's all the time we need. And so, knowing that you actually don't have to do anything for things to work and to revolve around you, you will realize that all the things that you are doing right now is because you have an idea that you should be doing it. Yet there's another part spontaneously coming out of you that is just doing. And by knowing that that is the nature in you, you don't judge anymore your actions, and you let them be, and you do whatever just comes out of you. You just be. And at that point, it's not about not doing things. It's about not being fooled by the things you do to think that you have a conception of yourself or nature or everything else around you, for that matter. And that is just a profound way of seeing your life. Liberation comes from that. Liberation of the mind. Huge liberation of the mind. Because you're no longer constricted by the thoughts that are judging your spontaneous actions, and even those actions that you don't think are spontaneous, that you think you did because you had to do. In the end, it's just us perceiving the world, and it's up to us to see if it's harmonious or it's not. Nobody else has a vote in there, just us.